Hey everyone, it's Finn here from the SDGC here with a first hour look impression on the brand new upcoming AAA zombie parkour awesome game Dying Light 2 Stay Human. I don't know what its official genre title is. I'm just going to call it the parkour zombie game. We got a review code for this. A little late in the game to have a full-on review ready in time for launch, but I did want to at least drop my impressions of the first couple hours of the game, mostly the tutorial section and the first kind of like hints at some of the bigger uh, mechanics and stuff about the game when you get to the first main city. Uh, so right off the bat, if you have not played Dying Light 1, this game really does not punish you for that. At the very beginning, there was a very early reference to the main character from part 1, but outside of that, I've not really encountered anything that has necessitated knowledge of Dying Light 1. The opening movie of Dying Light 2 is literally just kind of a recap of the plot of Dying Light 1 and then the aftermath of it. So if you were worried like, oh no, I didn't play the first one, do I need to before I jump into this new flashy fun open world game? The answer is no. You can just kind of enjoy yourself. So game starts kind of just with a nice tutorial about the parkour movements, because that's what this game's all about. This game lives and dies off of its parkour movement system. If you did play Dying Light 1, you're going to be very familiar with it. They've expanded it and made it feel even more vibrant and fluid and responsive. I mean, moving around in this game just feels good. Jumping from rooftop to rooftop, climbing, grappling, zip lining, like swinging off bars. And I haven't even unlocked any of the cool stuff like the grappling hook or the hang glider or anything that really opens up the world. I'm still in those early moments, but it still feels really good to run around. So that's key, because I don't think this game works if you don't enjoy the movement. Because if you haven't played Dying Light 1, the best analog to this experience would be the Mirror's Edge franchise. You can definitely tell it kind of has some of its origins in the Mirror's Edge running, but this is that they you could tell that they put a lot of effort into it, and it shows because moving around in this world feels good. And I guess it can't really overstate how important that is, if because the combat in this game is serviceable, but you don't play this for the combat. You play it for the movement and the traversal and the world and the plot, more or less. At least from where I am, it seems pretty interesting. I've heard reports and reviews that it kind of like falls apart at the end, but it's about the destination, the journey, not the destination kind of scenario. But the combat in this, and again, early on, so it's all very basic. Like, one cool thing is Dying Light 2 has this huge skill tree that opens up new parkour abilities and more new combat abilities as you progress. So it's got kind of like a Skyrim style thing where the more you run and climb and jump, you build up your parkour experience meter, unlocking new skill points. Same with combat and whatnot. And they even put the parkour into the combat. Like, the first thing you equip or unlock is the ability to, once you parry and stagger an enemy, you can vault off of their head and drop kick another enemy. So they even put in the fast movement and the fluid movement and work it into the combat, which is good, because otherwise you're doing a very standard kind of, you press the right trigger to swing your weapon, you press L to the left trigger to block, and then you have a dodge button and a jump button. But I mean, the weapon systems, like, you can tell the RPG mechanics in this are really benefiting the game, because you know they do have a durability meter to them, which for me is always something I hate. But unlike Breath of the Wild, it's more like The Witcher, where yeah, your weapons can break and get degraded, but it's at such a slow pace that by the time it happens, you're pretty much leveled up and you wouldn't want to use that weapon anymore anyway, because the weapons have levels. They have kind of like attributes. Like you could have weapons. I saw, I have not yet because again, very early. That you can have weapons that like will set enemies on fire and cool stuff like that. So and almost everything in this game is melee based. I have not encountered any guns. I've seen a bow, but almost everything here is a bat or a shovel or a machete or some blunt, sharp tool that you use to hack and slash your way through. And what's really cool so far is so I haven't come across any of the vaunted decision making in this game because they tout that your choices drastically alter the world and will change what quests you get and stuff. I have not encountered any of that yet, but the plot I have encountered has been really well acted. Like the characters are the main ones I've encountered and talked to are really well done. I have no complaints there. The plot has seemed interesting. You're given a mysterious governmental key and told to bring it to somebody. You, as a character, Aiden, are on the hunt for a man who experimented on you as a kid during what I assume is the time period of the first Dying Light game. And you're hunting for your missing sister from that time and also the man who did it so you can exact revenge. So that is the gist of the plot that is told in the first like half hour. Um so I'm excited to see where it goes. They also have a really cool day night system. So just like in the first Dying Light, like in during the day, the zombies are kind of a non-factor. They're lethargic. They're hiding in the shadows and buildings because sunlight is dangerous to them. And your main opponents will be the humans because, as we all know, in the zombie apocalypse, man is our greatest enemy. But at night, those zombies come out in full force, and they are just terrifying. Like it's got kind of like horde vibes from Days Gone, but a lot more intimate because they will follow you. They will parkour your ass down right along with you. And you get like these chase sequences where you have to run and avoid them. And it's just you're running from UV light to UV light to stay safe. And there's also another factor where you have to keep yourself in check because you have to keep the virus from turning you. So you have to constantly be on the lookout of that. So one cool thing this game does is just foster this feeling of tension. And I think it's a fine line between tension and frustration in a game. And so far, especially in these early moments where I feel very weak and underleveled and underpowered, I don't have very many skills unlocked. I don't have many traversal options. I have really shitty weapons. So everything feels very dangerous. And so the tension is there. Like I'm kind of exploring, like, do I want to keep looting this building? Or do I want to get back to safety? Do I want to kind of waste my time sneaking around these enemies, or do I want to go gung ho, like I'd say guns blazing, but you don't go machetes chopping. So you got I love the parrying, bouncing off heads. It feels so good. And again, running around, building rooftop to rooftop, it's a very solid feeling. And that's end of the day. Right now, that's where most of my impressions. I can't comment on the plot or the story very much, other than what I've seen has felt very intriguing. Like it makes me want to play more. Like in open world games, a very common problem is you don't care about the main storyline anymore. You know what I mean? Like you're just like, I'm just gonna have fun in the world. Who cares about progression? But so far, this makes me want to keep progressing and figuring stuff out. And part of it is because running around the world is so fun. So the main takeaways so far from me, and again, this is been playing on a PlayStation 5. I have not encountered a lot of issues. Uh, I think I've benefited from the patches that people that did the main reviews at the big sites did not have the benefit of yet. So points to me, I guess. But the main takeaways I have for Dying Light 2 so far is that running around in the movement is spectacular. The world so far is fun. I'm a big fan of the pilgrim sense, where it's kind of like the Arkham Knight. You click the thumbstick and you scan the area around you, because there's a crafting system, so you got to get collectibles and items and such. But the movement is great. The combat is fine. It's serviceable for what it is. It could very well expand as I get better weapons and more techniques. But as it is, it's just, it's there. It's there to punctuate the movement and the traversal. Right now, if I had to give it a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a meh, I'm giving it a thumbs up. I was never the world's biggest fan of Dead Island, and I honestly didn't play too much of Dying Light 1. It came out at a bad time for me. But this one, the changes and the new polish and the new options that they kind of put into this had always captured my attention. So I was eager to try it, and Dying Light 2 so far has been very enjoyable and fun. And isn't that, end of the day, isn't that what we want in a video game? So if you have the option, uh, should you pick it up? Yeah, I think you should give it a shot so far. I will have a full-fledged review coming later, but just based on my early hours, the early experience of the game, it's solid, and I'm enjoying myself quite a bit. That's pretty much all I got. That's what else can you say? It's fun. I'm enjoying what I'm playing. And if it seems, if you're on the fence about it, hopefully this pushes you in the right direction. As always, I am Finn of the SDGC. You can find me on the Twitters at NOLA Nerdcast. Um, Hope y'all are having a great day. Stay safe. Remember, kindness costs nothing.